What's going on, everyone? My name is Nicholas Merton here from DataDash, and today is January 26th of 2024. Well, folks, I hope you are having a fantastic day wherever you are, because in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the three main altcoins I'm going to be watching going into quarter one of 2024, as we've had a significant pullback in the month of January down towards the 100-day moving average. I think it's time we start looking and honing down our sights into some of the most fundamentally strong plays in which have even stronger price action, and above all, have the fundamental capability to be able to multiply many times over from its existing valuation, depending on the narrative and addressable market. We've got a lot to unpack here in today's video, so if you guys happen to enjoy it, consider dropping a like. It's a great way to support the channel. But beyond that as well, I ask that you please stick around for the entire video. If you guys are really interested in the coins that I like here, don't just try to figure out what coins they are. I recommend you stay around, try to figure out why I like these projects, and beyond that as well, do your own due diligence and don't just buy something because I talked about it here on the channel. There's enough of that in the crypto space. I know you guys are better than that, and I want you guys to go ahead and do your own due diligence and know at the end of the day, these are not sponsored plays. These are just plays here that I like in the market. All right. Let's go ahead and kick things off here. No time to waste. I want to spend some time to talk about our first coin, which is Stacks. Now, this may not come as a surprise to you all if you all have been watching me for the past few months, since around September, October, as we started to get more interested in the altcoin space again. We've been talking a lot about Bitcoin-related infrastructure as a narrative. This is a big focal point of, I think, this period of time in crypto markets because of the recent launch of the Bitcoin ETF and Bitcoin really stealing the spotlight from many other legacy assets in the crypto space. The reason why Bitcoin infrastructure, I think, is such a huge narrative is because it's a huge untapped market, both on a narrative basis, but also on a fundamental basis. Bitcoin is the most valuable protocol in the crypto industry. It is by far 3 times larger than Ethereum, and it makes up a massive amount of dominance, nearly about half of the cryptocurrency market. Now, the reason why this is important here is that because Bitcoin's market cap, the existing supply, and the current market price are worth so much, worth hundreds of billions of dollars, the thing we need to realize is that Bitcoin is relatively unusable to an extent. You can send Bitcoin from one person to another and use it as a store of value or some kind of hedge against the financial system, and that's great. But being able to use your Bitcoin for more, to get yield, to be able to swap from Bitcoin to other assets, to be able to engage in other DeFi-related activities, there's a huge market potential there. And even if we just think about the existing DeFi ecosystem, which is hundreds of billions of dollars within the crypto space, probably well over $150 billion in total addressable market across all the other layer 1 and layer 2s, you instantly could have a much bigger market just on Bitcoin. It is yet to be built though, and Stacks is that programmable layer. The way to think about Stacks serves as kind of a layer 2 on top of the Bitcoin network that allows you to deploy smart contracts using its native programming language Clarity, where you're actually able to build a lot of the traditional DeFi applications that you know and love on Ethereum and a variety of layer 1 or layer 2 protocols like Arbitrum, Optimism, Polygon, Binance Smart Chain, you name it. All those applications like DEXs, lending protocols, and even yield farming, and all types of different things that I think we've yet to see, even potentially having a Bitcoin reserve where you're able, similar to MakerDAO, to generate a Bitcoin-backed stablecoin. The opportunities here are massive. And with Bitcoin's network effect, I think Stacks tapping into Bitcoin being the native currency utilized on the network is a huge deal. Now, just to put things in perspective here, without diving into every bit of technical documentation, I recommend you guys take a look through it, maybe even get familiar with Clarity as a programming language that's not too difficult to pick up versus, say, Solidity on Ethereum or other EVM-compatible environments. I recommend you guys check into the documentation on it and do a little bit more due diligence. And if you'd like me to do a more fundamental review of Stacks on some of the details, let me know down below in the comments. I'd be happy to consider exploring that. But we got to talk here about market valuation and price action. Now, Stacks has made significant moves. We first talked about Stacks here really around October when it was around 60 cents. And since then, it's around $1.40 now. So even with the pullback here, it went all the way up to $2 here. So doing more than a 3x during that period of time. We are still seeing Stacks hold up substantially well, and we even bought a position back the other day. So just to let you guys know, it's not our entire portfolio, but it's a small, like, single-digit allocation, right? So the big thing here I want to talk about with Stacks is that it's sitting right now at a current market cap of $2.1 billion, fully diluted market cap of 2.6. Irrespective of which metric we use, a $2 billion market cap in crypto for something this big, servicing as the potential native layer for programmable DeFi, NFTs, a whole range of applications you can think of and use cases for Bitcoin, a protocol that's well worth over $750 to $800 billion. And when you consider, say, Ethereum being a multi-$100 billion protocol, Solana being a 40 billion plus protocol in market cap, at a minimum here, guys, if things continue to remain optimistic in this market, if the Bitcoin infrastructure narrative continues to take off, I could see Stacks easily doing a 5-10x. And it's got the kind of price pattern that's got me interested in that potential breakout. If you just take a look here at market cap over the last few years, you can see that we've had these kind of run-ups before. But this is quite early on in what many people believe may be a longer-term bull market. I don't know if I'm convinced of that. But the main thing here is that if we do get that further continuation, if the ETF eventually becomes a big deal and we start seeing massive inflows and we start seeing Bitcoin potentially having this set up to really have a full-scale bull market or just remain optimistic for the next couple of months, Stacks right here over the long term, not only in the daily time frame, has held up really well over the long term. It recently broke the 21-day trend, flipped red here, but we didn't even come down to test the 100-day like many altcoins, showcasing that people are buying into the strength. But the major thing I want to talk about here is taking a look at the long-term time frame. Stacks in many ways has been building this long-term ascending channel framework where if we can clear through the resistance band up here around 250 to 3 on the Lux Algo signals and overlay indicator, one of our primary technical analysis indicators we use here on the channel. If it can clear through that range, the prior highs back in December 2021, I think this thing can easily go up to potentially 10 to 15 bucks. That's again, the more optimistic scenario here, I think, is within the realm of possibility. It's a market cap multiple that has been seen in the crypto space and has been done in many fashions even bigger. So I think overall that that's the optimistic target, but at a minimum, you could see this come up here to say 5 or 750 per token. And from here, that's a really solid risk reward bet for betting on some kind of play in the crypto space or in the altcoin market in current circumstances. Not many plays, I think, at such size are going to be able to make that kind of substantial move here, but the narrative is there. And if you take a look as well at the Stacks chart against BTC, you'll find here that it's been in a long-term accumulation channel. We've had these big cyclical moves here with drawn downturns here where they match towards the lows. And while we are still relatively elevated right now in that framework, I think we've got an opportunity here that once this starts to set a monthly close, if it can get above, say, 75,000 sats and really get up to that range, then you're just going to see this thing run. The longer the base, the bigger the breakout. This happened with Tesla, it happened with a whole range of equities, but it also happens in a whole range of cryptocurrencies as well. So this is a kind of technical pattern I like to see. It's just a play that's just waiting for its moment here. It's waiting for its narrative. You've got all the fundamentals there. Now you're getting the price action build up, and it's a matter of the bull showing up to the plate. So that's why we even built a position. We didn't wait around for the 100-day moving average. I'm looking to add even more into Stacks as time progresses. But again, just wanted to let you guys know I like the setup here. It looks nice from a price action standpoint, and the fundamentals of the project are sound. The narrative is there. It's the perfect formula for success, in my opinion. But again, there's no guarantee. We have to wait and see how price action is going to continue to hold up here. I want to see, if you're wondering from like a TA perspective, I want to see this continue through the 21-day moving average like it has. We saw buyers coming in on the daily Lux Algo support band. We are likely right now facing resistance at the 21-day. If we can clear through that, this will continue charging upwards. That's good to see in the BTC ratio for STX. And outside that as well, in the dollar pair, we want to see a similar pattern. We want to clear through that 21-day and get above that resistance band from the Lux Algo signals and overlay indicator. The second one I want to talk about here today is talking about the Render Network. Now, this is a separate narrative, but Render Network has been around actually for a long time. Similar to Stacks, these are not entirely new projects, and that's okay. These are projects that have been established. They've built real products or real platforms. They're not pump and dump schemes, overnight things that just have influencers shelling them and stuff like we've seen in the altcoin space. These are real sound projects. And the Render Network is focused on the concept of allowing you to outsource GPU power for various different types of computational tasks. Now, there are all types of different things you could use GPU resources for rendering. For example, when I make a video on YouTube, I need to have a GPU on my computer to render that. And sometimes when people are doing really high quality videos and they need to get things out quickly, they may outsource GPU power. However, the biggest use case right now has been around generative AI. And as you all know here in this channel, while I've had my criticisms of people's expectations for AI long term, irrespective, not only can I get things wrong, but outside of that as well, generative AI already at its current state does demand a lot of GPU power. And right now, there is a big scarcity of GPU resources, even if it's a near-term problem. And I think that Render Network, allowing for people in a distributed, decentralized fashion to contribute towards their computational resource towards various different tasks on a distributed network, I think is a really cool opportunity, not only for people who are in passive income, but outside of this, well, it's a clear utility function. You need Render token in order to purchase the GPU resources. People earn the Render token. It's a cyclical process here. And similar to Stacks, Render right now is only sitting at a $1.4 billion market cap, or if you want to look at the fully diluted, it's right around $2 billion. These are, again, the kind of great middle ground projects. If you guys want to know kind of what I look for here, sure, you can try to find micro caps that are at 5 million. You know, you put $100 into 100 different projects and maybe one or two of them take off and it makes up for all your investments and you do well, right? That can happen sometimes. But in many cases, you just buy a lot of rug pulls and really high risk projects, and many of which may never actually take off if there isn't enough liquidity and optimism. We need to find something that's in the middle, not the large caps, not the hyper speculative and risky stuff, but projects that hit in this nice mid cap range for altcoins that really are pressing above an established market cap, but still have that ability to still make a 5-10x from where they are. So this is, again, an important thing here that I want to emphasize. If we take a look from a price standpoint, again, you can see we've had these run-ups here before, but we can see in the past that Render usually makes new highs with each expansion. So I think that there's definitely a chance here. If we can continue to hold like all we have on the 100-day here, this was one of the first projects that came down to the 100-day. It's bounced up strongly. We're seeing this competition between the 21-day, the bears weighing down price, the bulls providing that established support here. We're not seeing a lot of sell volume, which is, I think, a good sign here. So if we can clear through that 21-day, get through the resistance band and really continue on, this one will be able to climb, I think, much higher. I think you could easily see Render double here over the next couple of months if the AI narrative continues to remain strong and GPU resources are relatively scarce. But for a more slightly optimistic target, I think even a 3 to 4x would be doable for a large cap play like this, still giving it the ability to probably easily outpace Bitcoin and set in new, slightly relative higher levels. I don't think you'll see the kind of multiple expansion from the prior short-term highs in May of 2021 to November of 2021, but I think there is an ability here for this to continue expanding higher and get another blow off top somewhere between 10 to 12 bucks at a maximum. So that's kind of the range that I'm looking for here for a potential trade on Render. And I think overall it's a sound play that could likely outpace Bitcoin. It's got a strong narrative that's a bit external outside of crypto, but utilizes the elements of Web3 and crypto to be able to democratize that ability to service various computational resources for various use cases. So overall, this to me looks really nice. And last but not least, I wanted to show you as well Render's BTC chart. If you take a look here on Render's BTC chart over the long term, this looks like it's been building up for a huge reversal pattern. I take it here to the weekly. We can see here that on the long term, Lux Algo support band, every single time we came up in here, people were buying, people were accumulating, and this really just serves as a great foundation. So anytime you get those kind of dip buying opportunities, you have a really good risk reward profile, at least according to the price history that we have to work with. But the idea here is that this is just going to continue to set in new higher lows and higher highs, and eventually be able to really whipsaw out and go into uncharted territory. That again is where the fun stuff begins. That's where the returns can really come in, and that's when you want to usually leap in on that trade when that momentum kicks off. So again, with these plays, you don't have to just buy into them now. You could wait until you really get above certain price levels and you see that there's that volume and momentum. Outside of this one, I want to let you guys know, you've probably seen me throughout the video showcasing a really important indicator that I utilize, and that's the Lux Algo Signals and Overlay Indicator. It's one of many that comes in the Lux Algo indicator suite that we utilize in our trading activities and we feature here on the channel. They're one of our partners here on the channel, and if you guys are interested to use this indicator as well as the many others that come with it, you guys can check out the link down below in the description. They have a really great indicator suite. I like to personally use them on the daily and weekly time frame for cryptocurrencies, and for more macro markets like equities, I like to use it on the weekly and monthly. And the great thing is that you can try it out 30 days risk-free. You can try it for a monthly subscription, quarterly or annual, see if you like it, and if you don't, no worries, you don't have to continue subscribing to it. But it's a really great tool, and it's one in which I like to utilize alongside the moving average indicator that we talk about here on this channel. All right, last but not least, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about Angel Block. Now, Angel Block is definitely different from the two prior projects in the sense that we're talking about a much smaller market capitalization here, but I don't put this in the typical class of microcap, meme coins, because it's nothing of the sort. AngelBlock is solving for one of the largest remaining issues in the crypto space, and that is fundraising. Every single day, people are losing money to outright scams, rug pulls, smart contract exploits, meme coins, and even projects that may look good on the surface, but raise a ton of money through their fundraising round and don't deliver anything beyond a white paper. These are constant issues that leave billions of dollars, unfortunately, going to wasted ideas in the crypto space. And AngelBlock aims to fix this, not only by implementing a very novel governance system on its platform, but along with that as well, allowing those who participate in the fundraising rounds to essentially participate in voting on tranche releases of funds raised. So for example, if I wanted to go out there and raise on AngelBlock, and I wanted to deliver on some vision of building a DeFi protocol, and I want to raise $5 million, then the important thing to understand is that I'm probably not going to get that $5 million right away. Maybe in the proposal that I submit, which is going to be transparent, upfront, and done in an automatic and decentralized fashion, I'm only going to ask for $1 million right out of the gate in order to get the base foundation of the protocol built, get some early stage code, get it deployed on testnet. And unless I get it to the point where it's actually on testnet and I deliver on those objectives and goals, it's not so much a matter of whether or not it gets adopted or it's just great or subpar job. It's a matter of making sure that I actually meet to those bare minimum milestones, that I'm at least showcasing that, hey, I'm delivering on what I promised here. And if I'm doing those and reaching those objectives, then I'll continue to get released tranches of capital. If I don't, those funds go back into the pool for investors. And this at a minimum, whether you're talking about fundamentally sound projects with unfortunately the teams that have the inability to not deliver on them, or outright rug pulls or scams for people who just want to raise money and get away with it, this basically prevents a lot of that capital from getting lost. Billions of potential dollars could be saved here if AngelBlock becomes the standard for raising capital in the crypto space. And they've already started to raise for some really interesting projects in the crypto space. They had Stable, which is tied directly to not only the Solana ecosystem, but a whole range of other different networks, and Script Network as well, which is a watched earned live TV platform where they just successfully raised around back last month. I think overall that AngelBlock is an early stage project. And to be fair with you guys here, market cap wise, it's only at a $10 million market cap for its fully diluted valuation and at 4.6. But what I love is that you can see here the typical story here. People who get in at an ICO valuation, they dump their positions on the market, and what you see here is a buildup. You see the real people sticking true to the project who are starting to accumulate, and you can see overall that there's been this nice buildup of higher lows over the long term here since back in September. I like seeing this technical pattern here. I like seeing the Lux Algo support band coming right back into play after a nice healthy correction. We've seen a cool down in valuations. The 200-day is no longer serving as resistance but as support. And I understand at the end of the day, guys, this is a smaller cap project. So keep that in mind here. It's definitely, with all other things, usually going to be higher risk. But I know Alex and the team are real, they're genuine, they're trying to build something that's actually valuable. And for me, alongside Render, alongside Stacks, these are the kind of plays that I look for. And they're all focused on different narratives or different parts of the crypto space, solving really critical issues that people actually need to be solved. Not just some meme coin, not just some out the wazoo project, and certainly not some kind of elite influencer project that just gets promoted out of nowhere and is the next big deal and then just unfortunately gets dumped on everyone. These are projects that have been around for a while. You can see their price action. You have a lot more transparency on these projects than most in the crypto space. So you can dive into the token economics, you can dive into their fundraising operations, all the kind of stuff that matters from a transparency perspective. And I like all three of these here so much that I just felt like talking about them here today in today's video. I know that's difficult to find in the crypto space nowadays, but with so many opportunities out there, you gotta be able to filter out the noise and focus on the signal. And even if one of these three projects does well, guys, I think it could definitely service as a valuable proposition for you guys to consider when you're doing your own due diligence. But that's it for today's video, guys. I'm gonna leave some links down below in the description if you guys want to dive into these projects, all of their websites. Again, none of them are sponsored here. Just want to talk about them here today. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, consider dropping a like. And thank you for sticking around and actually listening in if you took the time here to understand why I'm interested in these projects. I think they all exemplify good price action, they have good fundamentals, and they have that multiple potential. All the way down from AngelBlock, all the way up towards Stacks when it comes to market cap. So that's it for today's video, everyone. Thank you all so much for watching. And until the next video, I'll see you all in the next one on Monday at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.